So let's talk about duck feet. That stubborn posture where your feet just seem to have a mind of their own, constantly wanting to turn out. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. We're about to dig into why this isn't just some funny little quirk, but actually a sign of a much deeper full-body path. You've done the calf stretches, right? You've tried all the hip strengthening exercises. You're constantly telling yourself, feet forward, feet forward. And yet, the second you stop paying attention, what happens? They drift right back out. It's incredibly frustrating, and trust me, you are not the only one dealing with this. Okay, so here's the first huge mind shift you need to make. Duck feet isn't just a foot problem. It's actually a brilliant full-body strategy that your brain is using to keep you stable and upright. It's not a flaw, it's a compensation. And understanding that difference, well, that's the absolute key to finally finding a real solution. All right, let's dive right in, because this seemingly small alignment issue can have some pretty major consequences down the line. If we just dismiss it as a funny walk, we're basically ignoring some really important warning signs of a much bigger dysfunction that can cause problems all the way up the chain. And this is where all the pieces of the puzzle start to connect. Take a look at this list. Does any of it sound familiar? That knee pain that just shows up out of nowhere, that nagging tightness in your hips, or that constant annoying tension in your low back. These usually aren't separate, random problems. They're often part of a chain reaction that literally starts from the ground up. So if duck feet is so common, why do the usual fixes almost never work for good? This is where we have to really challenge the old way of thinking. The reason those fixes fail time and time again is because they're aimed at the wrong target. You're treating the symptoms, the smoke, instead of going after the actual fire. I'm willing to bet you've tried some or maybe all of these. Stretch this muscle, strengthen that one, roll this thing out, and yeah, you might feel a little bit better for a day or two, but the pattern always comes back, doesn't it? That's because doing all this stuff is kind of like trying to fix a spelling mistake in a document by screaming at your printer. You're not addressing the source code, and that quote right there, it just hits the nail on the head. Your body is a completely integrated system, not just a bunch of spare parts cobbled together. So trying to fix a turned out foot without ever asking why the system put it there in the first place, well, that's just a recipe for going around in circles forever. So what is the real reason? Get ready for it. It's not because your muscles are lazy and it's not some bad habit you picked up. The truth is your feet turn out because your brain, the master controller of your entire body, is making a split-second calculated decision that it thinks is necessary for your survival. Just let that sink in for a second. Your posture, it's not something you choose, like the shirt you put on this morning. It's an automatic subconscious output that's organized by your nervous system based on all the information it's getting about the world around you and where your body is in space. And this, right here, is the absolute key concept. Your brain's number one job, above all else, is to keep you alive. And a huge part of that is simply not falling over. So if it gets bad information, what we call faulty sensory input, maybe from your feet or even your eyes, it will happily sacrifice perfect alignment to give you a wider, more stable base of support. Your ducky feet are your brain's clever, if imperfect, solution to what it perceives as a major stability problem. Okay, enough talk. Let's actually make this real. It's time for you to become a detective for your own body. We're going to do 2 super quick tests that will help you find the clues as to where these faulty signals might be coming from. First up, the big toe test. Go ahead and try it. Just follow the steps on the screen. Now, why on earth does this matter? Well, your big toe has to be able to bend back like this to let you push off the ground cleanly when you walk. If it can't, your body has to find a workaround to move forward. And a super common compensation is, yep, you guessed it, turning the entire foot outward. Next up, let's check your pelvis. Just stand sideways to a mirror and relax into your normal stance. Now take a look. Do you see a really big curve in your low back? Does it look like your whole pelvis is tipping forward? This isn't just because of tight hip flexors. This is often your brain trying to shift your body's center of mass just to keep you upright. It's another compensation for instability happening somewhere else. So what did you find? A stiff big toe? Maybe a pelvis that likes to tilt forward? Remember, these aren't just random little quirks. They're clues, they're breadcrumbs that reveal the exact pattern your brain is running, and they show you precisely why your feet feel the need to turn out. Awesome, now that we've played detective and we've figured out the why, we can finally talk about the how. The path to real lasting change isn't about forcing your feet straight. It's about giving your brain better, clearer information so it doesn't feel the need to turn them out in the first place. And the result of that faulty brain map is this constant muscular tug of war. On one side, you've got these overactive muscles like your hip flexors and low back just working overtime. And on the other side, you've got these super important stabilizers like your glutes and your deep core muscles that are basically asleep at the wheel. This chart shows you exactly why just stretching the tight spots never works. You also have to wake up the ones that have been snoozed. So the real mission here is to retrain your brain's map of your body. This has nothing to do with willpower or just trying harder. It's all about the sensory data your brain is getting. To fix the output, the duck feet, you have to fix the input. And that means we need to target the true sources. Your feet, your hips, and yep, even your visual system plays a role. And here is a perfect example of what that actually looks like. This is so much more than just a stretch. By putting your big toe in this specific position and making sure you keep your heel down and your arch stable, you are sending brand new, high-quality information straight to your brain. You're basically sending a message that says, hey, look, the big toe can move this way, and it's totally safe. This is how you start to rewrite that old, faulty pattern. So the next time you look down and see your feet turned out, I want you to stop thinking of it as a bad habit you need to break. Instead, I want you to ask a totally new question. What problem is my brain trying to solve for me right now? Shifting your perspective from trying to fix a flaw to working with your brain to upgrade its software. Now that is how you find a solution that finally sticks.